100 plus in the last 10 overs, DK. Anything different the bowlers could have done?
One of the things that I felt was the use of the bouncer and the yorker. They tried a lot more knuckle balls in the slower balls with the mid-on and mid-off up. I felt the use of the bouncer and the yorker could have been far more. That was what I felt, because the slower balls were still coming onto the bat, which is a good sign, which tells me that when India bats, that ball will come on. So that is, as a batter, you want that to happen. So that is good. But could they have used the yorker and the yorker and the bouncer better is a question that they need to be asking themselves.
And I think when we saw it used sparsely, when it was used, it seemed effective. Even towards the end, when Umran Malik was being able to bowl to Nasoom, the one ball he bowled, which was a yorker, dug it out, but it was something he couldn't score off.
No, exactly. My point was that really today's day and age, it's very difficult for you to bowl length to any batsman. Even a batsman who's a number 8, number 9 batsman today, in length, what is he going to do? There are 2 overs left, he's going to clear his feet and give it a whack. If it goes, it goes. And that's exactly what happened. Too many length balls were bowled to players who, under normal circumstances, you shouldn't be bowling that much to. And I think, again, forget about getting a foot in the throat. You're 89 for 6. Okay, there was a bit of trouble. Obviously, Deepak Chahar had some sort of an injury. We still don't know what it is, and he didn't come back. But that card will make you look at it and wonder, because Umran Malik had a very good first 5 overs. He had a really good first 5 overs. He was looking threatening, he was looking fast, he was looking as if he was doing something. And though he did get a wicket finally in his second spell, he didn't really look the same bowler as he was, his third spell actually. He bowled 2 in the middle, comes back for 3 in the end. He didn't look, I felt he bowled way too much length. And they were able to guess what he was doing and they adjusted accordingly. I never thought the batsmen were kept guessing by the bowler as to what he's trying to do. I think and every time that they bowled the slower one, they got it whacked over their heads.
Yeah, for his first spell, 5 overs for 8 runs. He had a couple of maidens in there as well. When we saw the stumps cartwheeling, you were thinking, okay, this is Umran we've been waiting for. You wouldn't expect the next 5 to go for 50.
I think when it comes to Umran, we need to understand his strengths. In the time that he has shown us his skills, it's been mostly through the middle. Even if you see Sunrisers, the way they've used him is mostly between 7 and 15. They haven't exposed him at the depth so much, because I think with his pace, he needs to get his yorkers right. Otherwise, there are a lot of balls that are going to be put away for boundaries. Through the middle, he's very effective. And you saw that as well. As soon as the power play got over, he came in and showed how effective he was. That is an area of bowling that he needs to get better at. I think bowling with the new ball is something that would probably come a little better for him. But bowling at the depth, and when you're bowling at that speed, you tend to go for a lot of boundaries. You don't get your lengths right. So that is something that he'll be able to, needs to rather work on a lot, bowling at the depth, especially if there is no reverse swing. Then at that speed, then you tend to get hit for a lot of boundaries. That is one aspect of his game that he will definitely be having a close look at.
Yeah, and when DK and I were on Combox, we were discussing Akshar Patel's outing being just a little bit disappointing. He improved a little bit in his second spell, as you said, but his overall returns for the day, 7 overs for 40, sort of reflective of the day he had.
Very average day. And Akshar, when you have Washington Sundar there, and Washington Sundar is a decent bowler, but he's not the spinner with the reputation that Akshar Patel has. And I think Washington Sundar's performance was far better. He tossed the ball a little bit, gave it a little bit more air. Okay, that's not Akshar's game. But Akshar is normally a very restrictive bowler. To hit him, you really need to whack it. So I think they countered him effectively and he didn't look, maybe it's the injury that slowed him down, maybe it's lack of match practice. The first 5 overs, he just didn't look like the Akshar that was there. Having said that, I still believe that this is a better pitch than we've been led to believe. At least it played normal. The other thing is, it doesn't seem to have as much carry, and the ball's not taking off. You remember that Shakib going down to Umran Malik and then getting hit on his back. It's not taking off as much as it took off yesterday. I don't know what has been the difference over the last 48 hours, but it just doesn't look the same.